political leader, members of the media. Last Friday, Honorable Dominic Fedee sought to respond to my statement on the range fiasco, which included a call for the government to provide explanation on the settlement of the dispute between range and the government of St. Lucia. Honorable Fedee sought to describe me as a false prophet and asked me to tell the nation the truth as it pertains to the business of the day. The deceit of this government and its lack of respect and regard for the people of St. Lucia is unsurpassed in the history of our country. This government is rooted in a belief that the people are stupid and can be treated with disdain. From the treatment of the National Trust, to not responding to backing dogs, to the let the jackasses bray, all tell of a government that has contempt for the people. The response by Honorable Fedee is laden with deliberate untruths and vicious spin of facts to confuse and deceive the people. So Honorable Fedee, here is the truth, together with documents to prove. But first, let me repeat what Honorable Fedee said. He said, and some of which I quote from his direct words. 1. Dr. Ernest Hilaire said that the government was paying $20 million as an amicable settlement of the range development. That is absolutely false and untrue. His direct words. He goes on. Instead, what the government did was to engage range development in an amicable settlement with a view to getting back the 40 acres of land which were prematurely sold by the previous administration. Range has agreed to return the land to the government and people of St. Lucia for $6.7 million. Thirdly, range development sold in the region of 14 to 20 million US dollars in CIP sales. Fourthly, and all of that is his direct words, we have decided that range is entitled to a commission of 10% on a $54 million maximum possible sales in CIP, which would entitle them to somewhere in the region of about 5.4 million EC dollars. Mark the words. 5. There are also claims made for expenses. Of course, the minister does not say how much was the claim. 6. He claims that there's a net gain for the government of $21.6 million. Those were the words of the Honorable Minister. So here is my response to Honorable Fedee. 1. It is an absolute lie to suggest that there was never a dispute between range and the government of St. Lucia. Members of the media, we do not have to go far to prove that this is a lie. The Prime Minister, speaking in Parliament of St. Lucia, foolishly admitted that there were problems with the range project and accepted responsibility for the delay and the problems. He also promised that all issues will be resolved by July 1st. The Prime Minister, when questioned by the media as to whether there was a dispute and whether the project was stopped, announced that he was already speaking to other developers to replace range. So if the Prime Minister, your boss, Honorable Fedee, admitted that there was a dispute, who do we believe? You or him? Or neither? Is this a case of mem bet, mem puel? Secondly, the minister says there was no dispute. What the government was trying to do was get back the land which was sold by the SLP 4 days before the elections. I won't say much on this, except to share with you a document issued by the Government Land Registry yesterday, August 27, 2018. It shows that the land was sold on September 11th, 2017. So, Honorable Minister, was elections held on September 15th, 2017? Minister, as the children say, liar, liar, pants on fire. The land registry document shows that the land was sold by the United Workers' Party government in September 2017. Then thirdly, the minister claims that range sold in the region, and listen to that, sold in the region of 14 million US to 20 million US. A difference of US $6 million or easy $15.6 million. That's a huge range, pun intended. So which is it? Imagine a farmer going to the supermarket to sell grapefruits and is asked how many grapefruits did he sell? And he says between 200 and 300. Minister, how much money was earned? It is very easy to find out how much money Range brought into St. Lucia. It is either 14 million or it is 20 million. Just check the bank account where the monies were deposited and you would know exactly what the figure is. There is no need for a range. But there's a reason why the minister does not want us to find out. But if, according to the minister, they are going to pay commission on $54 million, so why not just say they brought in $54 million? Because that's the figure you're using to calculate their commission. Why give a range? Why give a lower figure of 14 million? Is it that that is what is officially recorded? And is it that the range is saying, no, it's not 14 million, we brought in more? Tell us, Minister. This becomes more intriguing. How do we know how much money was earned by the CIP? Since the minister, the Prime Minister, has never presented to Parliament as required by Section 33 of the CIP Act, we can only rely on the estimates which are tabled in Parliament. Page 7 of the estimates for 2018-2019 says that for 2016-2017, 5.9 million EC dollars was earned. It also says that for 2017-2018, $21.4 million was earned. That gives us a total of EC $27.3 million from all sources. The range dispute started last financial year. How comes the estimate says a total of $27.3 million from all sources, but the minister announces that range alone brought in US $20 million, which is $53.4 million. Is someone lying to us in the estimates? Because the estimate says 27.3 over the last 2 years, but the minister saying range alone brought in $53.4 million. What is the true earnings from the CIP? Why is the government refusing to come to Parliament with a statement of how much was earned and what was it used for? Minister, is the estimates lying or are you lying? Where the money gone? 4. The minister then says that the government decided that range was entitled to a commission of 10% of $54 million, meaning EC 5.4 million belongs to range. I need to ask the minister, how range can be entitled to a commission and by whose authority? The rules of the CIP are very clear. And I want to share with you today a memo. And you will get copies of the title of the land to show the sale and the memo. It's a memo from the CIP unit as to who is entitled to commissions. You will see from the document, and it is very clearly stated, that only marketing agents who don't have contracts in place and promoters or authorized agents who submitted successful applications can get commissions. It does not say or mention that hotel developers or investors are ever entitled to commissions. So tell me, Honorable Minister, who decided that a hotel developer or investor can be paid a commission? Are you telling the truth? 5. The Honorable Minister says that Range had claims for expenses. But wait, was it not the same minister who said that there was no dispute for which there was an amicable settlement? That instead it was government that engaged Range for a settlement to get back the land that was sold? Then why is Range claiming for expenses? Honorable Minister, don't these claims only arise when there is a dispute? One side claim and the other side dispute. If the government, and I want you to follow this, if the government got back $21.6 million, then it means that the government paid Range $33.1 million. Because if the total Range brought in was $54 million, if government get $21.6 million, then the rest is what you pay to Range. If you add the land, $6.7 million, and you add $5.4 for commissions, then it means that the government has agreed to pay Range about $20 million EC dollars in expenses. $20 million EC dollars in expenses for Range. What for, Honorable Minister? Maybe you can tell the nation the truth. Tell us what were the expenses. The people want to know. I dare the Honorable Minister to tell the nation what monies did Range pay out that they now claim they won back and is part of the expenses. The minister needs to say that to St. Lucia. Finally, the minister says that St. Lucia made a gain of $21.6 million. Hear this. St. Lucia made a gain of $21.6 million. Listen to this. If you have a glass of juice, it's yours. Then someone drinks a quarter of it and leaves behind 3/4. Would you argue that you have gained 3/4 glass of juice? Or would you be upset that you've lost a quarter? The Honorable Minister wants us to be happy that we have only EC $21.6 million as a gain. He does not want St. Lucians to be unhappy that we have lost $33 million of our CIP money. It's not a net gain. It's a loss to St. Lucia, Honorable Minister. This was money brought into St. Lucia from the sale of our citizenships. And through no fault of the people of St. Lucia, we have lost EC $33 million, according to his calculations. It is our money which we are asked to pay out. No heads will roll. No minister will pay the price. Yet I am the false prophet. Honorable Minister, think about it. A developer comes into St. Lucia with part funding, just having built a Park Hyatt in St. Kitts and completing a Kempinski hotel in Dominica, both high-end hotels, and he wants to build a hotel in St. Lucia. If this project was handled properly, right now, about 300 young men and women would be employed in Black Bay constructing the hotel. In 2 years, an ultra-modern Ritz-Carlton would be opening its doors in Black Bay. But due to the incompetence of the government, we have lost this investment opportunity. And instead, according to the figures given by the minister, we are paying out $33 million. I think, and St. Lucians think, that someone should resign over this. And given you, Honorable Minister, are the one taking responsibility for it, you should do the honorable thing and resign as the minister. The people of St. Lucia must not be made to pay for your incompetence. You are clearly out of your league. I thank you.